Well, hello and welcome to Bowtie Life and some results from our fall seed starting. As you can see, we do have a lot of stuff coming up, looking beautiful. This is some of our newer seeds that we did, but if you watched from the beginning of this fall seed starting, you know that we planted some 12 to 20-year-old seeds, and I wanted to show you the results of that. I thought it might be a short, but it just came out about that much longer than I can fit into 60 seconds. So let's talk about these results real quick and see how old seeds did. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. Now, before we look at these, and there are results here, some very surprising results to me. I wanted to just remind you, on the back of the seeds packets, there is a date, a sell-by date, not an expiration date. And one of my favorite stories is Jess Sowers telling about how she threw away some seeds because they were last year's seeds, and she felt bad when she found out that she could have planted those still. And just hopefully this serves as a little bit of help, that if you got some old seeds, don't just throw them away. They're not an expiration date, they're a sell-by date, which is by law when the seed companies have to get it out of their inventory. They grow for 1 year to sell the next year. In other words, they grew in 2022 the seeds they're going to sell in 2023. In 2023, they are growing the seeds they're going to sell in 2024. And so that kind of keeps the stock rotated. Now, when seeds get old, they start to produce less and less. In other words, fewer and fewer of the seeds will actually germinate under ideal conditions. Whereas, immediately after being sold, they might germinate 90%. Say 95%. The second year it might be 90, 85%. The third year it'll drop even more, down to 60 or 70%. The fourth year it might be less than half, and it's most typically it reduces exponentially. And so a lot of times we take old seeds with a grain of salt, and these are seeds that my mom gave me. And if you haven't seen the video where we planted these, I'm going to have a closing screen on this video. It looks kind of like this right here, that has in the lower left hand corner, it has a link to the whole playlist for our fall seed starting. Top right will be where we planted these seeds, and you can kind of see what happened with that. But this is really very interesting to me, just because these were old seeds. These were 12 to 20-year-old seeds, and we have results. So I'm going to just pick up the camera here and kind of get in close so you can see what it looks like. So this first packet was spinach salad fresh hybrid from Burpee Signature. This was marked to sell by 2011, which means it grew in 2010. It's 2023 now, and means it's 13-year-old seed, and none of this grew. And which is no surprise, a 13-year-old seed. This one here is a 20-year. It was actually grown in 2003 for 2004. It is the Burpee Burgundy Ice Crisp Head, and it was actually in a sealed foil packet, and it did not germinate anything. I'm going to give these a few more days, and if it germinates anything, I will definitely do a short on this. But I was really hoping that because of that foil pack that we found it in, that it might have done something. The next one is the Black Seeded Simpson, and this also was in a foil pack that had been opened. This is from 2011, and that means it was grown in 2010. It's a 13-year-old seed, and looky there, we've got one plant coming up. And I thought that was really, it's a 13-year-old seed that's actually germinated. One out of all, and remember, we did sow these pretty thickly, so the fact that we got one, I'm actually a little surprised. The next one is the Ferrymore Spinach Bloomsdale Longstanding, and this is from 2004, and 2004. In other words, it was grown in 2003 for the 2004 year. And look there, that germinated from a 20-year-old seed. Can you believe that? I have a hard time believing it. That's just amazing to me. Okay, next one is 2011 mesclun from Burpee, sweet salad mix. And interestingly enough, we had 3 come out here. These 2 didn't survive for one reason or another. I'll admit I may have forgotten it a little bit and neglected it. But anyway, the fact that we have even one of them from a 12-year-old seed is pretty cool. 2010, 13-year-old seed actually. And finally, we get down to this Ferry Morris Mesclun Gourmet Greens mix. And this is a mix, which means there's different kinds of seeds in here. And it doesn't, I'm not seeing where it tells exactly what seeds are in there, but these are from 2011, which means they were grown in 2010. So 13-year-old seeds. Apparently, one of the seeds in the mix germinated a lot from 13 years ago. And this right here is a really good lesson on what can happen with old seeds. They can still grow. And you can see we've got 4 cells with stuff growing in. This cell nothing grew in. Again, I sowed them rather thickly, and I will be putting these in our indoor lettuce growing area, which means I'll be thinning them down to 1 plant per cell before we uppot them. So there's the results. I thought it was interesting to see that 13-year-old seeds can still grow. Really quite amazing, especially greens, mesclun. Yeah, very cool. So anyway, if you thought this was interesting, informational, educational, inspirational, or maybe just entertaining to see how long these seeds would survive, please click the thumbs up on this video and share on your social media. This is amazing right here. I cannot believe how well these did. We're going to continue to grow them, and we're going to eat from them. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe so you don't miss any of our other experiments or messing around in the garden that we do. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. You're my hero. You've helped grow this channel and the overall community, not just of Bowtie, but all the homesteading and gardening channels out there on YouTube that are continually making an ever-growing compendium of information for future generations. And so yeah, that's the experiment, the results. Y'all have a blessed day.